Fine. So we will be doing like in this second part, like in this particular project, we will be creating VPC 3-tier architecture. And while creating, we will understand the concept also. Okay. So our second project, it is first project I have explained in demo sessions only, like EC2 security group creation, and this will be included in this particular project also. Okay. So in this, we will be creating 3-tier architecture and understanding the concept of Terraform. Okay. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Fine. So in this particular project, what we are going to do. So this is suppose our AWS cloud. In this particular cloud, we will be creating a VPC. Okay. Let me use something other than this. So we will be creating a VPC, step by step, everything in incremental order, and we will understand the concept as well. So in this VPC, we will be creating 3-tier architecture. Okay. 3-tier architecture is what? You will have database, then you will have backend, then you will have front end. So 3 servers we will be creating, and we will be putting a load balancer in front of it. Okay. In this particular VPC only, this load balancer also we will create, application load balancer for instance, and 3 instance servers. Okay. One will be RDS. Okay. One will be any normal Linux server we can have, and on that we will have backend in any language. Okay. And front end also we will have a Linux server, and on top of that we will have web page. Okay. So this is how it will be designed. And this load balancer, the traffic will be coming from Route 53. So Route 53 also we will place. Okay. So this is complete project which we will be doing. Fine. So what is the, like, I am going to, so this is my demo 2. This was demo 1. I will be doing like committing it into Git repo. From there you will get the all the source codes. Okay. For now, I am putting it here. So in this demo 2, first file we will be creating. So what could be our first file? In this we can pass like version.tf suppose. Okay. Naming should be, it is not like your file name should be main.tf only, but for readability purpose, whatever is the main file, that people put as main.tf, but it can be anything. Okay. It is not like necessary to have a main.tf file. Okay. So in interview, somebody asks what is main.tf file in Terraform. So you can answer them that main.tf file is something which where we have all the main configuration, but it is not necessary. Okay. You can have different structure, file structures as well. Okay. So first thing, while we are writing our Terraform configuration, so first thing is what? As we have discussed multiple times. So first thing is you will go to registry.terraform.io. As you are new to this, after sometimes you will be used to of it and you will understand easily. But in the beginning, you can, like, we have to work with AWS. So we need to provide our configuration file, this information that with which cloud we want to work, right? In which cloud we will be provisioning our resources. So actually this architecture which I have just depicted here, it is we are using AWS cloud. We will see one example with Azure as well, where we will create some resources. But for now, we are taking AWS. And in this resources we are going to create. So we need to provide the information like which cloud you are using. Okay. So this is registry.terraform.io. You can hit this particular page. This is called as Terraform registry. Okay. So I am putting all the things, whatever we will be discussing, all should be available to you guys all the time. So that's why I will be pasting it into Slack instead of chat. So you can open your Slack on your system and try. Okay. So I have given here the complete path to go to AWS. Okay. It is not only to the registry, but to the AWS. So this page you can get into. Okay. Then you will simply copy this block, copy this particular block and paste it here. So in previous class also, we discussed about Terraform block. Okay. So if someone missed previous class, so in your Terraform configuration, the first block, this is top level block. Okay. These are top level block, Terraform, provider, there are variable block, data block, output block. These are top level blocks. Inside that, these are nested blocks. Okay. So this is how it is defined. So now we are talking about top level blocks. So first block is Terraform block. So in this particular block, we provide information about the which Terraform version we are using. Okay. What is the plugin provider version we are using? Plugin provider means, so there is providers available. Okay. Like this AWS provider. So it actually makes API call on behalf of you to the cloud. Okay. And create the resource, delete the resource, update the resource. So it actually manages, okay, whatever resource you want to create in AWS, destroy in AWS or any cloud. For instance, I am just saying AWS, but it can be any cloud. So this is your Terraform configuration file, and you have this plugin, provider plugin is available. So generally provider plugins are written in Go language, okay, because Terraform is written in Go language, so it makes it easy. So provider plugin is available. Based on your configuration, this provider plugin makes a API call to a cloud, and there it, based on your command, it do the things. Okay, like if you are doing Terraform apply, so it will create the resources as stated in the configuration file. It will destroy if you are passing Terraform destroy command. So this is what its functionality is. Okay. So for that we define here. Okay. So this AWS is a local name to your configuration. Okay. It can be anything, but for readability purpose, for understanding, okay, we are working with AWS, I am keeping it as AWS. But suppose if we have multiple AWS versions configured in our configuration file, then in that case, we will have to give different names like AWS 1, then other version we can put here like AWS 2, right? So these things also is supported. So that we can do. Okay. Fine. This is how it can be done. Okay. Apart from this, if you do not want to use this particular version, if you want to use any other version, okay, so whatever in the documentation available is the latest version. Here, it will be latest version always. But if you want to use any other version, so you can select from here. Like suppose I want to use 4.15.0. So I will have to manually update it here. Fine. So this is our Terraform block.
Hi. Please take a few seconds to like this video, ask your doubts or questions in the comments. Our trainers will answer it. Your response helps us to post more videos on this topic. More likes we get, more videos we can post. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks.
I'm not in Slack. What's your name? Shiva, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Shiva. Is it you?
Yes. I think second one, I think.
This
I
one?
don't know. Let me check.
Okay, no, you are not in this channel. There is no Shiva in this.
𝐂𝐶𝐭 Reddy. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Okay. So are you a paid student?
Yes.
Did you receive any link in the email? You must
I didn't say
check
any.
the link. Okay. Check your email. This for this Slack channel, you must be invited. If not, you can put in the, are you the part of WhatsApp group?
Yes.
Okay. There you can put like I have not been added into Slack, and someone from support will definitely add you.
Okay.
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 For now, I am putting it here in the chat also, so that you can get benefit of it. Okay. Fine. So this is how you can select version. Source I already explained multiple times that it will go to this particular path here, HashiCorp AWS, and from here it will download this thing. If you want to check the source code for this plugin provider, that also you have the access. Okay, because this is open source project, and open source has always this advantage that you can check source code of everything, right? And so you can see here it is completely written in Go language, 100% in Go language. So always in the GitHub page you can check for like what all programming languages is being used for a particular software or tool or plugin, right? So here you can see that it is completely written in Go language. Fine, good. Are we good till now? Guys, please say some yes or no.
Yes, Gaurav.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So this is how it is. So in this particular block, apart from the version, like provider version, we can also provide some more information. Okay, like we can configure the remote state storage. So in the particular section where we will be discussing about the state file, there I will discuss about that. Okay, but for now understand that we can configure that too in this Terraform block only. Okay, if you want to, like you have AWS and you want to write some configuration where you want to deploy in multi-cloud. Okay, so that too you can do. So in this particular provider plugin, you can have for Azure as well. Okay, suppose you want to use same configuration file for Azure and AWS. So you can do this. Okay, so this particular part, it will be always completely copied, but let me edit it. So these particular things you can remove, as we have already this block and we are good. Okay, so for multiple cloud also you can do this. Okay, I will show you in detail about it at later stage, because this time it will not be easy for you to digest for multiple cloud. Okay, but you can do it this way. Fine. So this is our first part. Anyone doing along with me? I am putting it into chat. You can use it in your configuration as well. Fine. But I would recommend to go to this registry and from there documentation, you can copy and do it on your own. That is better. Okay. Fine. Now coming to this particular thing, let me remove all this because currently it is not required. Okay. So next part is you will have to provide information to your Terraform, like in which region you want to create, right? What is the authentication mechanism to connect? So these information who will provide? How you can provide? Okay. So how can you provide? So in this provider section, you can provide the region in which you want to create your, launch your resource, right? So suppose this is my North Virginia region. I want to pass, like I want to create all these resources in this particular region. So we can pass US East 1. Okay, currently I am hard coding it. Hard coding it means manually providing it, but we can make it dynamic as well. Okay, that we will be seeing. So don't worry about that. That part is coming. Okay, so region I have configured. Another thing is what I told you, like you can pass the authentication. Okay, how will you authenticate your Terraform to communicate to your AWS cloud? So that's also I have discussed many a time. Do you want one more time explanation? Are we good?
No, we are good.
Sorry?
Gaurav, we understood that procedure. So in AWS CLI, AWS configure will write, then access key and the secret key will configure.
Right. Great. Okay. So I believe it is clear for everyone. And where you can find that detail. So if you have already configured, so you at this particular place. Okay. So this is the location where you can find these details. Good. Okay. So it is like in my case, I have only one credential configured, which is default. Okay. But it may be possible that you are working with different profiles in different locations, different accounts. So you might have multiple profiles, right? So profile equals to, suppose you want to configure for a developer profile. So in that case, you will have a IAM user or a group with developer, right? Here in IAM. And for that particular group, for that particular user, you will having the credentials that you will configure. So in that case, if you want to work with developer, so in that case, you will have to explicitly provide here profile equals to developer. Okay. Or you can make it variable as well. That's not a problem. But for now, I am saying for the sake of simplicity for now, because we have not discussed about variable block yet. So this particular thing you can pass with which user you actually want to create something. Okay. So this information you can pass. Fine. So in my case, right now I have only one profile, which is default. So I do not need to pass it. Apart from this, technically access key you can pass. Okay. Then you can pass like secret token and access key, but that is not correct way. Okay. It is not good to pass your credentials in the source code itself. Okay. Because you will commit it to some repo, and everybody who has access to get that particular repo, even he is not working on Terraform, he is not the provision, like he is not cloud ops engineer, or it is not under his role. He can also access that, right? And make changes. Okay. So that is one way. Assume role is there, but I will discuss about it later because it is something related to STS. Okay. STS, there is a service available in AWS. So in that section, we will discuss about it. Mainly in the real time, people use assume role. Okay. So this is what we will discuss later. So this is provider. So we have provided the information like with which cloud we want to work, what region we will be working. Next thing is what we want to create resources. So what resources we want to create, that information we need to pass. Okay. So in this particular example, we want to create a VPC. In that we want to create 3 servers, 1 application load balancer, Route 53 configuration, all those things. So first thing, where we can give configuration details of our resources. Okay, what resources we want to create. So that is inside the resource block. Okay. So how can you get resource block? So control space simultaneously, press it, you will get this list. So resource. Now as we are new to Terraform, we don't know much about it. Okay, even we know it is not a good practice to remember everything. Okay, so what is the way? So you can type AWS VPC Terraform, and you will land on this page. Okay, so this is how you can create basic uses. Example of uses is given. As per your requirement, you can pass different arguments. So these all are arguments available. What are required, what are optional, this information is also given here. Okay, so now we will be creating our resource, which is VPC. Okay, so let's take this particular path. So this is resource. Okay, this is the block name. This is the resource type. Which resource you want to create? So you want to create VPC. So this is by default given name from Terraform, that if you want to create AWS VPC, so resource for that is defined as AWS_VPC. Then this particular path is reference name. Okay, this is not for the, like, whatever name here you will give, that will not be the VPC name. Okay, in this particular console, whatever VPC will be created, this name is not for that. This is for your Terraform understanding, that what is the local name of this particular VPC resource. Okay, is it clear, guys? Guys, is it clear?
Yes, Gaurav.
Okay, so this is local name, so we can give like 3-tier VPC for our understanding. Fine. What CIDR block you want? Okay, so let me check what all VPCs are available. So here you can see one default VPC available, and its CIDR range is 172.31. So I am taking it 10.0.0.0, right? That's good. Instance tenancy default, and let me give it a name. So what name I can give? So anything of your choice. This name will be your VPC name, whatever will be created here. So for that, here the name will appear. That is coming from tags. It is for local reference only. Okay, so give it a name, demo VPC. Fine. So till now we have seen Terraform block, provider block, and one resource block for VPC. Multiple things. When we create a VPC, we create multiple things, but that we will be looking into one by one. Okay, so when you create VPC, if you know, that's good. If you don't know, let me explain you from manually how do we create a VPC. Okay, so you can click on create VPC. Here you will give some name. I will not create, but I'm just showing. So here you will give a name, and you can have the CIDR range, what will be the tenancy, and tags, right? Manually also from the console, these many things you pass, these many arguments, value for these many arguments you pass. Same thing we are doing here. We are giving CIDR block, right? CIDR block also it is asking. Then what will be the tenancy? So currently I'm taking as default, and name. Okay, so that is also a tag. Okay, so tag you can pass here. Even here also you can pass. It is also a tag only. Okay, so once you create a VPC, it is of no use. Just you are giving a namespace only. Okay, you will have to associate subnets, right? Route tables, internet gateways, and other things like NAT gateway if you wish. So these things, security groups to that particular VPC and endpoint. So these all resources you can configure with the VPC. Okay, so that we will be doing one by one. For now, we want to create a VPC namespace. Okay. So what is the name I have given here in the configuration? Demo VPC. So once I will apply this, here we should see a VPC with name demo VPC. Okay. So let's start this. So see in the command line and here also. Okay. Keep watch on these two places. You will see the changes. Okay. And do in your system as well. I would request you guys. So first command is Terraform init. So what it actually do? It initializes your Terraform configuration. Initialization means it will create a .terraform folder, and in that it will download the required plugins, whatever you mentioned in this particular configuration file. So this is the first thing you need to do when you are doing configuration for first time. Okay. So Terraform init. Okay, so Terraform initialized in an empty directory. Okay, sorry. So I have to first move into this folder where I have this demo2 VPC. Demo2 VPC. Okay. I was getting empty because in that particular Terraform folder, there is not TF. There is no .tf file. These all are under this particular folder. So we have to move to this particular folder. Now if I will do Terraform init, so it will get this configuration file, and from there it will get the information. So Terraform init. So we are getting some error. What is the error? There are some problems with the configuration described below. The Terraform configuration must be valid before initialization, so that Terraform can determine which modules and providers need to be installed. Okay. A name must start with a letter or underscore and may contain only letters, digits, underscore, and dashes. Any one of you can guess with this error what is the actual error? What is the reason behind this error? Can you debug it? What error I made?
Started with a
Hyphen you have given.
Okay, so I have to remove hyphen, right? Is it correct now?
no
Why?
letter, right? It is a number.
Sorry?
Start with the letter.
Okay.
It started with number, right? It started with
Yes.
letter.
Correct. So this will be correct now. Okay. So if you want to validate, that too you can do. Okay. So this time what we are getting? Missing required provider. Why we are getting? Why we are getting this error? Because we have not initialized it. So provider is not available, so it cannot validate. So that's why I told you that when you are writing your configuration file for first time, you definitely have to initialize. Okay. So you can see that initializing the backend, now it is finding the HashiCorp AWS. So it is actually going to this particular site. Where was that? This particular site, and it is looking for this particular directory, HashiCorp AWS. And from there, it is downloading this particular provider plugin. So it is installing now. Okay, it is taking some time. It definitely take time because it downloads everything from the internet. While it is happening, do you guys have any question from the section, whatever we have discussed till now? No questions? Great. So it will take some time. Is there anyone doing along with me? No.
Yes, I am doing.
Okay. Guys, please be vocal here. If you will not be vocal, how will I understand that you guys are getting what I am saying? Okay. So here you in the left side, you can see that .terraform named folder created. Okay, let me show you this into the file explorer also. Okay. So this is Terraform training demo. This is my second demo, right? Demo 2. Okay. So here you can see that .terraform file got created. Here inside there is a directory which is named as providers. Inside that, there is another directory created with this name, registry.terraform.io. Okay, this name is nothing but this particular name. Fine. Inside this, HashiCorp, AWS, 4.15, Windows AMD, and this is the application. Okay. So whenever you are doing Terraform apply or Terraform plan, so this is actually responsible for communicating to the AWS and performing the operations. Okay, so this is the plugin. Fine. Is it clear, guys? No response. Oh my God.
It's good.
Okay. Fine. So I think you got about this log file also, right? I do not have to explain anything about this. Is it correct, guys? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
So I am asking, did you guys get everything from this particular directory?
No, Gaurav. So what is the Terraform
So if I am asking, why are you not responding? Ya to you are getting everything or you are getting nothing out of it. So if you are not getting anything, then it is not fruitful, right? So I'm not getting any response. If I am asking like for anything, I'm not getting response. What's the problem? Like Naresh, Sachin, Prem, Kuttan, or you guys are not responding.
I got it actually. So I was like, my system, something happened with my system. So again, I logged in, something happening. That's what I am not responding. But I got it, whatever you said.
Okay, fine. Fine. So when I did Terraform init, apart from this folder, if you can see, apart from this folder, there is a Terraform log file got created. What is this log file? What all information? Just give me a second. So what this log file has in it? Okay. So let me show you. So in this log file, this file is maintained automatically by Terraform init. So when you do Terraform init, apart from this provider plugin, which I just explained you, like in the file explorer, I traversed through the path and shown you this another file which is called as log file. Okay, terraform.log.hcl. So what is the use of it? Why do this particular thing is getting created? Okay, and here you can read this, like this file is maintained automatically by Terraform init. Manual edits may be lost in future updates. Okay, so providers registry Terraform io.hashicorp AWS version this constraints this hashes this. Okay, so this actually stores the information of the version of plugin which you are using. Okay, so suppose if you have written this configuration with this particular version, and someone is downloading this, like cloning this from a Git repo where you have committed this particular configuration. Suppose you are 2 person working on same project. Let me explain. So it is you, let it be. Okay, it is you and it is someone else in your team, and both of you, okay, so you are working on one part of configuration file, and you have committed this to Git repo. Okay, committed to any Git repo like Git, GitHub, GitLab, whatever it is. We are committed to Git repository. Okay, so you have used this particular version, and someone from your team is cloning from your repo. Okay,
Oh, God.
cloning from your repo that particular configuration file and try to work with it. But while working, he wants to change this version to 4.16.0. Okay, so this particular log file will not make it happen. Okay, because if there is different version, maybe it can corrupt your configuration file. Like in a particular version, it is working correctly, but in another version, it can be possible that it will not be working correctly. Okay, so whatever version with which provider version you have written this particular configuration, same should be followed by other developers also. So for that purpose, this particular log file is generated. Okay, and it has hashes. This is checksum. Like if somebody, you have written it on Linux and somebody is trying to use it on Mac or Windows, so this checksum will make it like make it always the same version which you have, okay, written with. So make it compatible and with the same version, it is available on different operating systems. So for that purpose, that is this particular thing is useful. Okay, suppose right now only I am updating it, and now do Terraform init. You are getting, it is giving error. Why? Reusing previous version of HashiCorp AWS from the dependency log file. This is dependency log file. So it makes your configuration file dependent of this particular version, and this particular file is responsible to making sure of that this particular version is like whatever defined in the configuration file is being used. Okay, so you can read from the error: failed to query available provider packages, could not retrieve the list of available version for provider HashiCorp AWS, locked provider AWS 4.15.0, does not match configured version constraints 4.16.0, must use Terraform init upgrade to allow selection of new versions. Okay, so this particular part is explaining you that if you really need to upgrade your version or downgrade your version, okay, like from 4.15, you have to use 4.13 or 4.16. So you will have to use Terraform init -upgrade. But you will do Terraform init directly. This log file, dependency log file, will not make you change the version. So this is the important. And why it is important? Because suppose you have written with one version and that particular feature is not available in a earlier or later version. So may your configuration file behave unresponsive, or it can mess up all the things. So for that purpose, it is good to have the version with whatever used in the configuration. Okay, so that is why this log file is available. If you really need to change this to different version, so first you will have to run this command terraform init-upgrade, and then you can make use of this version. So in this case, another provider plugin of this version will be downloaded. Same way, like in this, you can see that this is for 4.15.0. Same way, another folder will get created for 4.16.0, and in that another provider will be available like this. Okay, is this clear to everyone?
Gaurav, I have a question here. So
Yes.
version we cannot change because of the lock. How about if you want to change the region US East one, right? So it's going to lock the everything, whatever we have written in the file, the complete file, or only just the provider version only it's going to lock?
No, it will lock only the provider version.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah. So it is named as dependency log file, right? Dependency log file. So what is the dependency of our configuration? That our AWS version should be 4.15.0, and that information only it has. Can you see anything related to region or provider resource or anything? No, right? So it is only for the version. Fine.
Gaurav, if two developers are working in same code, if they want to use different versions.
Gaurav,
Yes.
yeah, good evening, Gaurav. I have one small query.
Yeah.
What are the difference between a dependency and a plugin? Actually, both are, I think so. Generally, their roles same only, Adding the dependency and the plugins means we can add some additional features to specific service like that.
Dependency means what? What do you suppose? Like our configuration, this particular configuration, it has a dependency on this plugin provider that it should be a version 4.15.0. This is dependency. And this particular thing is whatever we have downloaded and available here, this particular thing is our plugin.
Based on the dependency, that service will work.
Yes, it is dependency, right? Our configuration file only work with this dependency, this provider.
Yes.
And this should be the version. Right? So this is what our configurations dependency is.
Okay.
Okay.
Then what about plugin?
What about plugin? So this is our plugin, right? This is our plugin. Dependency is this version should be 4.15.0.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it clear to you?
Okay. Thank you.
Is it clear or not? You can ask again if it is not clear. Okay. Fine.